What's going on, guys? We have a Hulk. So this is going to be my unboxing slash overview of Marvel Legendary World War Hulk. It is the 16th expansion, I believe. And so yeah, here's your typical setup. We got the stuffies, rulebook. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so we have the new team. It's Warbound. So transforming. So this is a really cool thing. So basically what happens is every hero in this set has got a card that has transform on it. And what it does is they're a card you set aside in their own pile. And you have a card, and if you fulfill a certain condition, you replace that card with the transform card, and that card goes in your hand unless it specifies otherwise. There's some other instances where you have to put it on top of your deck or your discard pile. But you basically play a card, do what it says to do, and then you transform and take that card out of play and then replace it with a new card. And when you do that, you get the effect of the card you played. So if, for instance, if there's a card that's like 2 recruit and you transform it and it leaves, you still get that 2 recruit, and then you get to use the card on top of what you did earlier. So it's really cool. There is transforming masterminds, and so all the masterminds have a second side. You know, the other sets have had epic versions and on the back side. So this time there's no epic version, they transform. So after Master Strike is complete, you flip it over and then you have the new card. And we'll go over that whenever I actually open up all the cards. Outwit's a new thing where you can do the ability if you reveal 3 heroes with separate costs. So in this example here, you can show a 2-hero card, 2-cost hero, a card that costs 6 that has Outwit, and then also 0-cost Shield Agent, and that counts for your deal. And so that's another thing. And it also helps with some cards that when you go back to the transforming thing, you play a card, it's 3 costs, it transforms to a card that happens to have 4 costs. Well, there's 2 of your 3 for Outwit because you've played it. It counted as you playing it. So there's that. We have Smash, which is you discard another card and you get plus attack equal to whatever. So if it says Smash 3, like this example, you discard a card, you get plus 3 attack. So this actually works really well with Cyclops and Angel, some of those cards that rely on discarding cards. Wounded Fury, this is a new thing that you get +1 for each wound in your discard pile, and then if a villain has it or a mastermind, they get +1 for each wound in your discard pile. So you kind of have to balance that out. Cross-dimensional Rampage is back, so a player so in this set it looks like cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage. So it's like, hey, when you do this effect, each player reveals a Hulk card. So that whether that be a Hulk hero, whether that be the Hulk, like the Hulk, whatever the Hulk villains are, the Hulk villain, and the whatever the set is that has like Kingpin and the Spider Girl. It's like the Wasteland, the Hulk gang. It's on there. Hulkling, Gray Hulk. Looks like Hulkbuster works. Also, Null, Breaker of Worlds, Maestro. Those things work for Hulk. Same way that Old Man Logan and Weapon X count for cross, and it even says it there. So if you don't reveal that card, you gain a wound. And then Feast is back from Paint the Town Red, which means when you feast, you KO the top card of your top card of your deck. I'm sorry, that gets KO'd. And then we have traps back that are back from X-Men, and then just something clarifying Gray heroes, that they're the Shield Agent cards and not, you know, cards that say like Jean Grey or whatever. Okay, so basically, looks like 4 stacks. I'm gonna go ahead and open these up and sort them all out, and then we'll come back to the what the cards do. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. I got everything sorted. So I'm gonna actually go through the villain stuff first before we go through the heroes, because they're gonna be the biggest bulk of things. So first things first, we've got the schemes. There are 8 schemes in the big box. So the first one I got here is Break the Planet Upsender. So 7 twists. I'm sorry, 8 twists. I'm sorry, 9 twists, 7 heroes. Stack this twist next to the scheme as a Tectonic Break. Then KO a hero. KO each hero from the HQ whose printed attack has less than the number of Tectonic Breaks. And then no print to count as 0. It's less than the number of Tectonic. So all the non. Oh, that's kind of brutal. And then when 25 non-gray heroes are KO'd. Okay, we've got Cytoplasm Spike Invasion. 10 twists. Shuffle together 20 bystanders and 10 cytoplasm spike henchmen as an infected deck. And then every time a twist comes up, reveal top 3 cards of this infected deck. KO all bystanders you revealed. All spikes you revealed into the city. When the KO pile and escape pile combine, have 18 bystanders with spikes. So, interesting. Fall of the Hulks. 10 twists, 6 wounds per player. Per player in the wound stack. Use exactly 2 heroes with Hulk in their name. So 3 through 6 is cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage, and then 7 through 10 is each player gains a wound. So, especially in solo play, this will be pretty decent to go against because you have to use 2 out of 3 of the cards are going to be Hulk. And their names, there's a good chance you're going to have stuff to deal with cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage. So, seems like a fun scheme. Gladiator Pits of Sakaar. So we've got 6 twists. Until you start your next turn, each player can only play cards from a single team of their choice during their turn. And then when 2 villains per player have escaped or the villain deck runs out. Good way to kind of deal with this is just pick cards of the same deal, but you know, if you're early in the game and you're trying to do shield stuff, you won't be able to do anything with. So that's interesting. So we got Mutating Gamma Rays, 7 twists. Take 14 cards from an extra hero with Hulk in its name. Put them face up in a mutation pile. Each player in your turn does the following. Put a non-gray hero from your hand into the mutation pile, then put a different hero or a different card name with the same cost from the mutation pile to your discard pile. So that's an interesting one. I'm not the biggest fan of the ones where after so many twists evil wins, but you know, they're there. Because I play a lot of solo and they're just hard to beat. We got Shoot Hulk into Space. 8 twists, take 14 cards from an extra hero with Hulk in its name, shuffle them in the Hulk deck, put 2 cards from the Hulk deck face up, put them into a face up prison ship stack next to the shield officer stack. You may recruit the top card of the prison stack, and then when there are 10 cards in the prison ship or in the Hulk deck runs out. So that's interesting. You'll lose before the scheme ends, when things out of the twists come out. But okay, Subjugate with Obedience Discs. 11 twists. Put the twist under the HQ as Obedience Disc. No space can have more than 2. Obedience Disc more than 2 and any other space. To recruit a hero from the HQ, you must pay 1 recruit for each Obedience Disc under it. And then evil wins when each HQ space has 2 Obedience Discs. So, yeah. And then is this the last one? Yeah, the last one, World War Hulk. 9 twists. Put 3 additional Masterminds out of play lurking. Each of the 4 Masterminds has 2 random tactics. When you defeat all Mastermind tactics, KO its face-up card and a random lurking Mastermind enters play. Swap the current Mastermind with a random lurking Mastermind. I think this is a badass scheme. I think it'll be really fun and kind of change up the strategy you have to deal with. I think it's a really cool scheme that we have here. Okay, and then before we get into the evil stuff, we're going to go through the bystanders. And in this set, there's only 4, and there's only 1 of each, which is kind of different because a lot of times there are multiples of the bystanders. So the first one we have here is when you rescue this bystander, choose a hero that costs 4 or less, and you get its printed, and from the HQ you get its printed attack and recruit. So that's kind of neat. Animal Trainer. We got when you rescue this bystander, each yellow or red hero currently in the HQ costs 1 less, so that's pretty cool. Triage Nurse. When you rescue this bystander, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. KO 1, discard 1, and put 1 back, which is like that one tactic from Red Skull. And then Taurus Couple. She had a selfie stick. Oh my goodness. When you rescue this bystander, you get +1 if the rooftops are empty and +1 if the bridge is empty. So that's cool. That's kind of cool, different things. So we'll start with the Henchman. So you'll get 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Okay, and there's cytoplasm spikes, which are what we have to do with that one scheme. And it's you fight, it's feast, and so in this, remember, a feast is you KO the top card of your deck, and if the cytoplasm feasts on a non-gray hero, you get +2 recruit. So not bad. Next we have Death's Heads. If you outwit these Death Heads, KO 1 of your cards that costs 0. So remember, outwit is revealing 3 cards at different costs. So sorry, I'm like just double checking. There were 10 of those. I know a lot of people reported missing a card, so I'm kind of paranoid. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a bit if that's the case. The last henchman is Sakaran Hivelings. So this is look at the top card of your deck, put it back on the top or bottom, and then you can feast. And so I like this one a lot. I like the feast cards. They were kind of hard in the Paint the Town Red because you didn't know what you were doing, but a lot of these help you manipulate what they are, so then you don't have to worry that you're going to lose something good. So here's the first set of villains. We've got the UFOs. So this one is Vapor. Each player reveals a red hero, gains a wound, which is another Vapor. We've got Vector. Each player reveals a yellow hero and draws a card, so 2 of those. X-Ray. Each player who reveals a blue hero may KO a card from this profile. So they're dealing with all the colors here. We've got Ironclad. Each player reveals a green hero or KOs a card that costs 1 or more in their discard pile. And then we have a Trap, which, remember, Traps came back, they're back from X-Men. So you have to fulfill the Trap, and if you complete it before the turn ends, you get it in your victory pile. If not, you do what it says and you take it out of play. So this one is discard a tech hero or discard 3 cards, and then if not, you play 2 cards from the villain deck next turn. So kind of straightforward stuff there. Alright, so these ones we're going to start this way. So Code Red, these are the ones that Thunderbolt Ross always leads. So you got Crimson Dynamo, choose a red hero in the HQ, it costs 2 less to recruit this. It costs 2 less this turn. We've got Electra. If you play a red hero this turn, KO one of your heroes. We have Tundra. Tundra gets +2 if there are any red heroes in the HQ. And then Ambush for each non-red hero for the HQ. Oh, put each non-red hero on the bottom of the deck from the HQ. We got Punisher. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 0, KO it. If it's red, draw it. And we got Red She-Hulk. She's got Wounded Fury, and each player reveals a red hero, gains a wound. And then we have finally Caught Red-Handed, which is the Trap. Recruit a red hero or recruit any 2 heroes, and then or suffer after your new hand. Each player reveals a red hero or gains a wound. So got a kind of a second chance there. And like I said, that is the one that Thunderbolt Ross leads. So you start the game, you have 8 helicopters, which are these bystanders. They're 2 fight, and you can rescue them after you fight them. And you can't fight Thunderbolt Ross if there's any helicopters. And then he always leads Code Red, and then he transforms, and then you cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage. So, again, transform, you flip it over, and we've got Red Hulk. And he's got Wounded Fury, and you can't fight helicopters, and they don't stop you from fighting Red Hulk. And so you get wounds, he's going to get stronger. And then Red Hulk transforms, and then stack a random bystander for each player's victory pile next to this is a helicopter. Each player who didn't have a bystander gains a wound. So basically, he's strong as hell when you fight him as Red Hulk, and you can't fight him as Thunderbolt Ross. So that's kind of the gimmick there. And here are his tactics. We got, for each Master Strike in the KO pile, put a bystander from the bystander's tech next to the Mastermind as a helicopter. So that kind of sucks. And he transforms. So every time you fight him, he'll transform. So that's kind of interesting. Each player puts a non-gray hero from your hand on the bottom of the hero deck, then puts a 0-cost hero from the KO pile into their hand. That sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. Especially if there aren't any 0-cost heroes in the KO pile, because then it's like you just are losing a card. Okay, this one's put 3 bystanders from the bystander stack next to the Mastermind's helicopters, and then this one is put a random bystander next to the Mastermind from these places. Bystander stack, escape pile, each city space, and each other player's villain. So he's really about keeping those helicopters from attacking you. So it looks like you'll have to really do a lot of the damage when he's Red Hulk, and just hope you don't have a lot of wounds. Alright, so next you have the Illuminati. So this is the villain group for the Illuminati Mastermind. So we've got Doctor Strange, Ambush, Outwit him or you discard a card. We've got Doctor Strange possessed by Zom. He's the villain. This villain gets +1 for each bystander in the city, and then you ambush and captures the 3 bystanders. Holy crap. We got Hulkbuster Iron Man. He gets +6 unless you can outwit him. So that's just like a passive effect. Like it just always is there. And then it's cross-dimensional Illuminati Rampage. So in this case, you have to have defeated Illuminati and have one in your victory pile for you. Or I'm going to guess that the Illuminati Mastermind counts towards that. I'm pretty sure, because it's Illuminati. Black Bolt. During your turn, you may discard any number of times you may discard a card that has no rules text to give Black Bolt -2 this turn. Each player discards a card with no rules text. He's like a little strong, so I'm interested to see how well that's going to be like to actually fight him in practice. So we'll see. And then we've got finally the Trap, Enchain the Hulk. Discard 2 cards of the same hero class, or recruit 2 cards of the same hero class. So, or suffer a cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage. So, seems pretty straightforward. And then we have the Illuminati. So, Secret Society. +4 unless you outwit him, so it's 15 otherwise, which is pretty crazy. Each player reveals their hand and discards 2 cards that each cost between 1 and 4. And oh wow, that's crazy. That's pretty brutal, actually. And then he transforms into Illuminati Open Warfare. Whenever a card effect causes the player to draw any number of cards, that player must also discard. The player must then discard also. That player must then also discard a card. So the way this is written, it says anytime we'll call you draw any number of cards. So if you draw 2 cards, you still only have to discard 1. It's not for each. It's 13 attack, and then Master Strike. Each player reveals their hand and discards 2 cards that cost between 5 and 8. So that's the other part of the Illuminati. It's the 1 through 4 on the first side, and 5 through 8 on the second side. And then we have for the tactics. Each player reveals their hand and discards 2 cards with no rules text. Transforms. So they must all just transform after you fight them, which is really interesting. I'm really excited to try this out because it's going to be really cool. Each other player reveals their hand and discards a blue or yellow hero. Each player reveals their hand and KOs a yellow or green, a green or black hero from a hand or discard pile. Wait, it says. Yeah. Each other player reveals a red hero or gains a wound. So yeah, they have to do with all the colors. So interesting. Okay. All right, let's move on to Warbound. Which yes, the Warbound is not only a group to play with, but it's a group of villains as well. So we've got the Warbound here. So L.O. Coffee. I don't know who this is. Draw a card. Any other player of your choice. Another player of your choice draws a card. So yes, we've got Meek. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put them back. Put them back on the top or bottom. Then feast. So it's kind of like investigating, but you don't get to draw. You just put it back. All right, we've got No Name, Brood Queen, Wounded Fury, and a Feast. If this feast on a non-great hero, draw 2 cards. Korg, KO a hero from the HQ. Each player reveals their hand, discards a card with the same cost. Hero. I don't know how to say this person's name. Here, I don't know how to say its name. His name is Jerome. I'm going to say Jerome from now on, and we're just going to run with it. Jerome. KO a card from the HQ. Each player reveals their hand and KOs a card with the same cost. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, and then we have the Trap, which is Warbound Rescue. Put a Warbound villain and a Henchman villain from your discard victory pile back into the city, where suffer each player gains a wound. Now I'm interested to know if you can't fulfill this because you don't have that. I guess you just gain a wound, which is probably why it's 7 victory points. So I think that's how you play that card. All right, and then with that said, we have King Hulk, Sakar's son, as the mastermind for the Warbound. He gets +1 for each Warbound villain in the city and escape pile. And then he always leads Warbound, and then Master Strike. Each player KOs a Warbound villain from their victory pile or gains a wound, and he transforms. That sucks. Okay. Into King Hulk Worldbreaker. I'll get that to focus there. Okay, so Sabrina Fury. Each player reveals their hand and KOs a card from their hand or discard pile that has the same card name as a card in the HQ. It's a lot of KOing stuff. Alright, so we've got the first tactic is Fury of the Green Scar. Each other player reveals their hand and discards a hero that isn't gray and isn't green. King Hulk transforms. So if you only have green and gray heroes, you're kind of set. Which a lot of these cards in here are gray or green, so it's okay. The villain in the escape pile with the highest printed attack enters the sewers. After you put this in your victory pile, cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage, which is nice because that when it goes in there, it counts for the cross-dimensional, so you won't get hit with the... Although I think it's every other player. But if you're playing solo, it's yourself, so it's okay. And then finally, you get +1 for each green hero. Each of your green heroes, and then Hulk transforms. So that's nice. +1 recruit. Alright. Next we have... Intelligentsia. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Doc Samson, he's +4 unless you outwit him. I think all these cards have outwit because it's supposed to be like smarty pants. Leader, outwit, or play the top card of the villain deck. Cosmic Hulk Robot, Wounded Fury. Each player who can't outwit Cosmic Hulk Robot gains a wound. Battle of the Wits, which we have 2 traps, which is the first villain group to have 2 traps, even though they're repeats. There's still 2 traps, which is cool. By the end of turn, outwit this trap or suffer. After you draw your new hand, each player discards down to 4 cards. Interesting. Should seem pretty easy with the heroes in this set. Alright, next we have Sakar Imperial Guard, which is led by the Red King, so we'll get to that in a bit. Headman Char. During your turn, Headman Char gets +1 for each villain in your victory pile. Ooh, you want to kill him early. Primus Vand. Oops, sorry about that. He gets +1 for each villain adjacent to him. So, for you guys who don't know what that means, next to. So, you kind of want to kill the people around him and or kill him early as well when there's nobody there. Or move him around with like Jean Grey or Storm or something. That's the Green Grey from the future, that one. Great Devil Corker. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order, then feast. I like it. We have Lieutenant Karia. If you outwit Lieutenant Karia, draw 2 cards. Cool. And then the trap is Gladiator's Coliseum. Only play cards from a single team of your choice or suffer after you draw your hand. Each player reveals their hand, chooses a team, and discards all cards that don't belong to that team. So, interesting stuff. Okay, so I just realized as I was leaving that I completely forgot Modok and the Red King. So I'm going to do those real quick. So we've got Modok here. It's outwit. All outwit abilities that require 4 instead of 3. And then any player who can't outwit Modok gains a wound. He transforms into this crazy thing. You can only fight Modok with Recruit, not Attack. Each player who can't outwit Modok KOs a non-gray hero from the discard pile. And then his tactics are, each other player reveals their hand and discards 2 cards of the same cost. Each other player discards their hand and then draws as many cards as they discarded. Draw a card for each intelligentsia villain in the victory pile. And reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. KO 1, draw 1, discard 1. So that's cool. And then let me go to Red King here. So we've got, he always leads the Sakar Imperial Group. You can't fight him if there are any villains in the city. And then he transforms, and then each player reveals a tech hero or gains a wound. So, we have Master Strike. The Red King transforms and play another card from the villain deck. That sucks. First one, if this is not the final tactic, reveal the top cards of the villain deck, play all villains you revealed, then put the rest back in random order. You get +1 for each Sakar Imperial Guard and Red King tactic in your victory pile, including this one, so that's nice. Reveal cards from the villain deck to reveal Sakar Imperial Guard. If you find one, play with. Either way, shuffle all the other cards you revealed back to the villain deck. So I guess if you... Sorry, I was thinking. So I guess if you... if they're all gone and you just reveal the villain deck, reveal cards until you get to one. If there's none, if you find one, play it either way. So I guess you just go to the end, and if there aren't any, you get shuffled. And then... okay. And then finally, each other player without a Red King tactic in their victory pile gains a wound. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Okay, back to the rest of the video. And finally, for the villain stuff, we have Aspects of the Void, which Sentry is a very fascinating character in the set. So the first one we got is Wounded Fury, and then he captures a bystander. Shadow Man, you get +2 recruit if you beat him. Black Anti-Hurricane. Each player simultaneously puts a card from the discard pile into the discard pile of the player on the right, which I think is a really interesting. And you guess you get to pick it. So, Demon Form. If Demon Form feasts on a non-gray hero, gain a hero from the HQ that costs or less. And finally, Psychotic Break. Play another card from the villain deck. Defeat a villain. Or suffer after you draw in your hand. Psychotic Break becomes a Master Strike that takes effect immediately. That one's kind of rough too, because if you don't have it's like the first card you play and the next card you play is not a villain, then you just have to take that Master Strike hit. And especially in solo, because you have to play another card from the deck after that. So that's a really rough trap. So we got Sentry. You start the game off by shuffling 2 wounds in each player's deck before you draw your hands, and then he always leads Aspects of the Void, and then you have Sentry transforms and cross-dimensional Void Rampage. And so here's the Void, which he's fucking ugly as hell. Wounded Fury, and then you feast on each player. If the player feasts on a player's gray hero, that player gains a wound, the Void transforms. And so all his tactics are Sentry and Void, so they count. And then we have each player reveals their hand and discards 2 cards, with recruit icons. Put all heroes on the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck. Each player reveals their hand and discards each card with the same name as any of those cards. Reflex teleportation. Choose one of your heroes that costs 5 or less. When you draw a new hand at the end of your turn, add that hero to your hand as an extra card. That's nice. Finally, Repressed Darkness. Each other player reveals a blue hero or plays as an aspect of a villain from their victory pile as if played from the villain deck. Okay, so cool. Alright, so those are these henchmen, villains, and masterminds. Let's go ahead and get into the heroes. So I'm just going in alphabetical order here. So, we got Amadeus Cho. We just got him as Totally Awesome Hulk in Champions. So we got 2 Amadeus Chos like back to back. So that's pretty cool. So we've got Outwit, draw a card. So remember, just reveal 3 cards of the same different cost, and you get to draw it. So that's his common. One of his commons. There's 5 of those, right? Yeah, okay. The next one is Gamma. Can I get it to focus? Gamma Draining Nanites. Draw a card. If you drew 2 cards this turn, transform into like totally Smart Hulk. So this card. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't got one of these mixed up in here. Okay. So this here is. This is really easy. You play these. Boom, boom. Transform. All right. And then transform to this. So this is set aside in a separate pile. Oh, can I get this to focus? And that's it, yeah. So then whenever you transform, you put this into your hand, and you put that other one out of the play. And the cool thing about this is, for this particular combo instance, right, you play this, there's a 2 and 3 cost card, he goes into your hand, you play him, you've revealed 3 cards of different costs, and you get the +2 attack for the Outwit. So it's a nice little combo there. Here's his uncommon, Renegade Genius. You get +1 for each different cost hero you have, and then you Outwit, you draw a card. And then you finally have his rare, which is Visualize the Variables. Whenever you Outwit ability, you may use it extra time. Look at the top card of your deck. Okay, so that's cool because you get to do it twice. So that's really cool. So there's Amadeus Cho. All right. I'm actually gonna go by team because I have to sort them by team when I put them up. So I'm gonna go by team. So next we're gonna go with champions against Nomura. Don't know a lot about this character. I know that she helped Hulk with Amadeus Cho and Hercules to help the Hulk. I don't know. I looked it up and didn't really understand it. I didn't read it that well, so that's why. So we got Heart of the Ocean. You get +1 usable against villains in the sewers or bridge or the Mastermind. I like the cards that help you take out the Mastermind. That are you get extra attack for the Mastermind. I like those cards a lot. So that's her first common. Her second common is Crushing Tsunami. Smash, you could draw a card, and then if you play a blue hero, you smash. So remember, it gives you +3 attack because it's smash 3. Her uncommon is Herculean Effort, which, speaking of Hercules, when you defeat a villain in the sewers or bridge, transform it into Master of Deaths and put it on top of your deck. So see, this time you don't put it in your hand, you put it on top of your deck, which is this. So it's you smash 3, and if you smash a 0-cost hero, this way you KO it. Now, this is interesting because it says smash a 0-cost hero, so that's only those shield cards. So if you have a wound, you can use it for smash, but you can't KO it because it's not a hero. So that's interesting. And then finally, her rare is Turning the Tide. If you play a red hero, if the bridge is empty, you may move a villain from another city space. You move there from another city space. The villain move this way gets -3 this turn. So that's really cool because you can either kill stuff for free or make it to where it's really easy to kill, or because some of those guys are really hard to kill. So that's really cool. Okay, so next we're going to go with the Avengers. So we have Bruce Banner. Solve the impossible. You Outwit, you draw an extra card at the end in your next turn in your hand. So that's nice. I really like 2-cost cards as well because it makes the Spider-Man cards more viable in mixed sets, because the Spider-Man cards, all play off of each other. And so to have the nice 2-cost cards and like for each hero to have a lot of, like, it makes them a lot more viable to mix in with, because I hate playing a game with like a Spider-Man hero and then 2 other heroes, because I never recruit the Spider-Man heroes. And Spider-Man's my favorite character, so it kind of sucks. So I like to see that they put in 2-cost cards to help, not to help with that specifically, but it's nice that it helps with that. Next, we have his other one, is Outwit. You transform into Savage Hulk Unleashed, which is this one, so it's just Smash 4. So that's pretty good. Which this kind of reminds me of the scene in Avengers, in the first Avengers movie, when he's chasing Scarlet Johansson, Black Widow down the corridor and there's sparks flying everywhere. That's what that reminds me of. And then we have the uncommon, which is reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 0, KO it. So that's nice, get rid of some wounds. We get to play a tech hero beforehand, which I think all his cards are tech minus the transforming card. And then finally, Gamma Ray Experiment, Outwit. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, draw 1, KO 1, and put 1 back. So that's a nice little thing. I like that. Alright. Let's go to another Avenger. Hulkbuster Iron Man. So we get another Iron Man. So Hulkbuster Iron Man, a lot of black and green cards. So you draw a card, you get +2 if you play a black hero beforehand. Here is his other uncommon. Other common. You Outwit, and then you get to do Smash 2. So that's pretty good. Here's his uncommon. Build the Suit. If you have black and green, you transform into Ultra Massive Armor, which is this, and you draw 2 cards and you Smash 2. So that's nice. I mean, he's not like he does a whole lot of damage, but you get the card advantage, like the extra cards, which is always great. And then finally, you get Final Battle Hulkbuster, and you get +2 for each other black or green hero you played. So this is actually sick, especially if you team him up with Beast. I mean, really, either Beast, but Beast from Secret Wars, the Illuminati one, like, I think all his cards are black and green both. So that's +4 for playing one of those. That's fucking crazy. That's awesome. So that one's there. We have another Avenger here, and being Sentry. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused here. Sentry. So he's cool because he's got a lot of transform cards. So you +1 for each card that you transform this turn. It's not bad. We've got Agoraphobia. So you transform this into Golden Guardian of Good and put this into your discard pile, which is interesting because you just play it to transform it. I think that's kind of interesting. Here's what it transforms into: Golden Guardian. You may transform this into Agoraphobia and put this into your discard pile. If you do, you get +4. Interesting. Interesting. So it helps. So that's what I was kind of wondering, because this card, like, you basically can only use it a little bit, but because these transform back and forth, then you can get the bonus of this card here. That's really cool. That's really cool, actually. And they have to put in the discard pile, both of them, because otherwise you could spam it. You would just be able to do it indefinitely, and then it would be broken. So that's cool. Okay. All right. Let's see. We've got Mournful Sentry. Reveal a top card of your deck. If it costs 1 or more, transform this into the Void Unchained and put it on top of your deck. That's the other thing too, is it helps transform these. Well, that's his uncommon. I don't know if I said that. And then the Void Unchained. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 0, then feast. Otherwise, transform this into Mournful Sentry and put it on the discard pile. I guess these put in the discard pile, not on top of your deck, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah, but anyway, that's cool that they transform back and forth, and I guess that kind of fits with him as a character, him kind of going crazy and doing different stuff. Alright, and then we have finally his rare, right? Yeah. Which is Vast Unstable Power. So reveal the top 5, okay, maybe not. Reveal the top 5 cards of the hero deck, gain their printed attack, and put them on the bottom of the stack. If this card makes 12 or more, then transform this card into the Void Mastermind and add it to the game at the start of the next turn with 1 random tactic. That is insane. That is crazy. So that's crazy. That's sick though. So if you make 12 or more, then you transform this into the Void Mastermind and add it to the game. So he becomes a bad guy if he gets too strong. That's crazy. That's cool though. Man, I'm so excited to play this set. Next, we've got She-Hulk. fan favorite that's been wanting to come to the game. So we got here, we outwit, draw a card, so pretty straightforward. This one is hurl legal objections, so I think she's a lawyer. Once per turn, if you made at least 6 recruit, that's like all her cards. It looks like these cards are... Uh-oh. That would separate to a separate video. I was like, what is this doing? So I have to add these together as one video. Okay. Transform into hurl trucks. So that's what this is. So you smash 2, so nice. So pretty straightforward. Her uncommon is Radioactive Riot, which she looks pissed off. Once per turn, if you made at least 6 recruit, you may KO a card from your hand or discard pile. And then finally we have Giantess. For recruit, for every 2 recruit you made this turn, reveal the top card of the hero deck. Put it on the bottom of that deck. Reveal the card top. Can I even speak? Okay. For every 2 recruit you've made this turn, reveal the top card of the hero deck. Put it on the bottom of that hero deck, and you get that card's printed attack. So you get at least 2 out of that, and it helps kind of move the deck along, especially in solo. It's nice because cards get stuck down there, and then like they're there forever because of how the games last. So that's a cool card. She'd team up really well with Lady Thor because all her cards are 6 cost, or like they have to do with like getting 6 cost. That's really cool. All right, we've got finally the last Avenger in the set is Scar, Son of Hulk. So pretty straightforward. Wounded Fury. We have Anger Management, so Smash 3, so it's pretty straightforward as well. Mood Swing, so it's play a yellow hero, you may gain a wound if you do so, transform into Raging Hulk Savage. And then this one's Wounded Fury. So that's nice. So you play this, you get 3 recruit, you gain the wound, you swap into this, and you automatically get his automatically 4 attack. That's pretty cool. And then finally you have Wounded Fury on the rare, planetary level revenge. Okay, so Wounded Fury, then you may KO any number of wounds from your hand and or your discard pile, then draw that many cards. So that's sick because you can do a big attack, get the Wounded Fury from it, and then KO them and draw a bunch. And just, yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to do the Warbound next because it's Hulk set, and I kind of want to do those last. So we're doing Joe Fixit. So he's actually this team affiliate is from, what is that game called? Oh, Marvel Legendary Villains, which is like, it's either like Crime Syndicate or Underground or something. I don't remember the team, but that's what that affiliation is. It's kind of cool they brought it back for the main game. So we've got 2 recruit, and then if you get a green card, smash 2, so that's pretty nice. Threaten and Bribe. Choose a villain. You may spend a combination of recruit and attack to fight it this turn. That's nice. Ambitious Enforcer. When you defeat a villain this turn that has 6 or more, transform this into Underworld Boss and put it on top of your deck. 6 fight or more. Okay, and then Underworld Boss. Choose a villain in your victory pile. You get plus that. You get the dude's victory points. That's cool as hell. And then we have, you can spend any combination of recruit and attack to fight the Mastermind. Let me see if the... Okay, so the traps don't count as villains. So those don't count as villains. They're because they say trap on them specifically. Okay, I don't know if you got that count or not. Okay, anyway, kind of going on a tangent. We got Rick Jones here. He's a Shield agent, a Shield affiliate. Hacktivist. Play a black hero. Reveal top card of your deck. If it's Shield, draw it. So that's cool. We have Seek the Negabands. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 3 or more, transform into Captain Marvel. Which is sick to see the original Captain Marvel. Real top. I mean, I don't know if this is the original one, but like, from my understanding, Captain Marvel was a dude first, so it's kind of cool to see a dude Captain Marvel. Anyway, he's an Avenger, so he changes his affiliate from Shield to Avenger. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 3 or more, draw it. So wait a minute. So that's cool. So reveal the top card of your deck. You transform him, and then you play this, and then you get the thing, and you get to draw it. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, we've got, this is uncommon, Irradiated Blood. If you have at least 5 villains in your victory pile, transform it to A-Bomb and put it on top of your deck. A-Bomb is Smash 5, so that's really powerful. And then we have his rare, which is Caught in Kree Scroll War. If you defeat a villain this turn, we transform this into the Destiny Force and put it on top of your deck. And we have the Destiny Force here. Count the number of different printed victory point values in your victory pile. Draw that many cards. So that's actually pretty sick. Okay, so we got the Warbound here. So I'm actually just going to go And I want to do Hulk last because it's Hulk's deal. So let me go with the people that I don't really know who they are. So first we're going to go with, I guess I don't know her name again. Karia, which I know is Hulk's wife that ends up dying in the comic. So you got Outwit, you draw a card, pretty straightforward. Another 2-cost card, I like it. Play a red hero, draw a smash 2, so it could potentially be a 4 attack, pretty straightforward. Focus the old power. Outwit, you may KO a card from your hand or discard pile. Good, cool. Dutiful Protector. Double the recruit you have. If there are at least 3 heroes per player on the KO pile, transform this into Vengeful Destructor. Then it's pretty safe to say at that point that there's going to be at least 3 heroes per person in the KO pile. It's kind of bent. Okay. And then this is done. Double the attack you have. That's pretty sick. So that's nice. It's like that Drax card that's like double your attack. So that's pretty cool. So here we got Hirom. Seek Redemption. The first time you defeat a villain, you rescue a bystander. Cool. We've got Save from Rubble. So draw a card. If there are at least 2 bystanders in your victory pile, transform this into Hirom Redeemed. So here's Hirom Redeemed. You get +1 for every 2 bystanders in your victory pile. Okay, nice. Nice. We'll team really good up. Team up well with Black Widow. Blade of the People is his rare. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I have these all. This is uncommon. I don't know what I'm doing. Play a Warbound hero, which I think is the first one I've seen. And they may have other ones have it, but this is play a Warbound hero. You may KO a 0-cost card from any player's discard pile. If you KO a wound this way, you rescue a bystander. Cool. That's nice. You're helping out people. And then Blade of the People. Choose one. Rescue 3 bystanders or defeat any villain or mastermind whose attack is less than the number of bystanders in your victory pile. That's cool too. It's kind of like what is it? That Nick Fury card with the KO ones having to do with being the Nick Fury card that has to do with the shield agents that are KO'd, shield cards that are KO'd. Kill anything that's less than those. That's kind of like a similar thing. Next we have No Name, which I think is Meek's wife or partner. I don't know what I don't know if they're like. Anyway, this is the first card you play this turn. Draw a card, so that's nice. We have Appetite for Destruction. Look at the top card of your deck, discard it or put it back, and then you may feast. It's cool that you get like self-feasting things to help kind of clear stuff out. And it says you may feast, which is nice. You don't have to. You may feast. Then, if a non-great hero was KO'd from this deck this turn, transform this into the Torrent of Brooding, which here's a transform card. Just draw a card just to attack. Solid. Then finally we have No Name, World Spanning Hunger. Look at the top card of your deck. Then feast up to 3 times. If you get +2 for each non-great hero that was KO'd from your deck this turn. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but pretty good. Next we have Meek. We've got, you look at the top card of your deck, put that back on the bottom or top, and then you can feast, so that's nice. You just smash one, so that's pretty straightforward. All these cards are yellow. We have, whenever a card is KO'd from your deck this turn, you may draw a card. So that's cool. Looks like you're gonna. I feel like with this set, you're gonna get through a lot of the shield cards because I feel like that's like a struggle that I have sometimes. Is that I'm playing and I have so many shield cards, and I don't like their cards like, oh, like you have nothing to do to KO. The only thing you have to do is kill whatever henchman you have or a villain that happens to KO cards. So they just get stocked up really bad. So here's this rare. You may feast. Then if a card with an attack icon was KO'd from your deck, transform this to King Hive Meek. And then look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put them back in any order. Then you can feast. So that's just a solid. It's cool. The nice thing I thought with this set too is that like I played the other day. I played against Vulture, and he was just so hard to kill because you have to deal with all these wounds. So playing with cards in this set, you actually able to take out the Vulture a lot easier. Okay, second to last, we got Korg. Draw 2, or draw a card, and then smash 2. If you smash a wound, you can KO it. So that's cool. We've got Move Mountains. Outwit, you draw a card. We've got Forge by Fire. Transform into Lord Granite if you play 2 green heroes. We have Lord Granite, which is draw a card, and you smash 3, so you kind of cancel out the card loss for the smash. And then you've got Cronin Tactician. Put all cards from the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck in a random order. You get their total printed attack. So nice. And finally we have King Hulk, or Gladiator Hulk. So don't make me angry. Draw a card and smash 2, so that's good because you kind of can cancel out the card you're discarding. Smash 3, then if you discard at least 2 cards this turn, transform this into King Hulk and put it on top of your deck. We have when a card effect causes you to discard a card, you may return this card to your hand. Oh my goodness. That is actually dope right there. We have Gladiator, the Green Scar. Cross-dimensional Hulk Rampage. If any player gains a wound this turn, you get Wounded Fury. Okay. And then finally we have Double-Fisted Smashing. You double the attack from each smash this turn, you smash 3. Nice. Alright. So there it is, guys. There is the overview of World War Hulk. I'm going to sleeve these up and play some games, and sometime shortly I will have a game up of the set, a solo game. Sometime this weekend I'll try to get that up. And I may do a video of showing you my storage setup, because I know people see they have a lot of issues about how to store their things and all that stuff. So I'll show you guys what I do. So yeah, and then I have some other videos coming out of some other game stuff. So keep a lookout on that. I appreciate you guys watching. If there's any particular setups you want me to play, let me know in the comments. I literally have everything when it comes to Marvel Legendary and Villains. So I can do any combination which you need me to. Any particular World War Hulk stuff you want to see me do, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in another video. Bye!